What's up, everybody? Welcome to the very first Shotgun Comedy Podcast.
Click, click.
Bang, bang.
I'm Matt Armstrong.
I'm Tom Tor. Together we are Matt and Tom, co-founders of Shotgun Comedy.
Shotgun Comedy. I was waiting to jump in there.
Sorry.
But then I realized we can't finish each other's sentences. That's too much like the twins from The Shining. Come play with us forever. No, we can't do that.
No. But anyway, we're not going to be talking about comedy so much as anything that tickles our fancy today. So, Matt.
Yeah, just some background. We're amateur comedians. Please don't look us up. But,
Please do. My YouTube channel is... yeah.
But this is just our downtime, really.
Yeah. So what have you been playing recently, Matt?
Recently I've been playing this neat game.
Recently, an hour ago?
Yeah, an hour ago. I've been playing Shadow Tactics, which is a cool homage to the asymmetric stealth games,
Was it currently an alpha?
No, it's fully developed.
Fully released.
Fully released,
yeah.
And everything. And it's cool because, the asymmetric stealth has sort of gone out of gaming fashion, if you will. It's been brought back a bit in recent years by games like XCOM. But, XCOM is about the only game out there recently. And now, with a renewed interest in the genre, we have Shadow Tactics,
which is like Commandos.
Yeah, it's exactly like Commandos, I would say, except it's set in feudal Japan.
That's kind of interesting. Because it's samurai, ninja stars, that sort of thing. But I had a look at the game, and it's absolutely stunning.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I don't know if it was an indie company, but
it looks AAA.
It looks like something EA or
beautiful graphics, and it's Commandos was the first game to ever do line of sight in a video game, and you could actually look where the soldiers are looking. And games these days they do that, but it's never from the perspective of a real time strategy game, which is what makes it, because you play as the commander, and you can hide out of the line of sight pretty easily. There's not much guessing. It's very logical, chess playing. And
it's actually it's pure strategy, because if you look at the classic strategy games, RTS strategy games StarCraft, the original Warcraft series, Red Alert, the strategy is sort of unrealistic because you have an infinite amount of troops you can create. This just throws you in there. In the case of Commandos, you have a team of 5 or 3.
And they're disposable.
Yeah, and you got to really look after them. It's true strategy. This takes it one step further, where you're literally one ninja, and if you're dead, you're dead. Yeah.
Well, that's what I loved about the Commandos games. They had a group of, say, 5 guys, and each one had a specific thing that they could do.
Function, yeah.
Yeah, and they would put you in different areas of the map so that you'd have to get your other guy to go help them out, because there's certain things you had a Marine guy and a Green Beret. It was pretty sweet. What was awesome about that game was the voice acting that came out. But back then they had such small memory, so you just get the same repetitive phrase over and over again.
Yeah.
I'm coming! Coming right over! Aye, aye, Captain!
It reminds me of Total War, where on the campaign map, on the Total War, if you click on an army, it says these repetitive, if you choose a French guy, he'll say something Frenchy. If you click on him, he'll go, oh. He won't, but I can't think of anything French to say. I don't actually speak French, but something like that.
Du fromage.
Yeah, like that. And it was the same in, remember, do any of you at home remember Age of Empires?
Yeah.
Where it was the same, where you clicked on it's weird because the first Age of Empires, they didn't do that. You clicked on a character and they went,
No, they did. They spoke in like some sort of proto language.
Yeah, it was weird. And then as time went on, if you clicked on a soldier, they'll say something like in the accent of the nationality you chose, like, "Oh, anything, my lord," or...
Well, that's that you're thinking of Warcraft, my lord.
Ah, yeah, okay, maybe.
What do they say? Orders, my lord.
Orders, my lord.
Yeah, Commandos, like, it had a cast of varying, like, English accents. Like, you had the sapper who was like very posh, like it had a sort of, "Yes sir, coming right over sir," and then you had like the Green Beret who was like very like Cockney, and even he has a line that he always says, I'm coming," and it sounds like he's saying "I'm common." Like, I thought that was what was he was saying the entire time, and because he's like a Cockney guy, "I'm coming."
"Derek, you have to get out of here alive." "No, sir, I'm coming." Cannon, follow me.
And then there's like a pilot in the game as well, and he's also like posh. But I heard that pilots, this was on QI, pilots from like First, Second World War, they actually were all commoners basically.
Yeah.
But in fiction, they always portrayed
like
as like these
posh,
upper class,
dashing,
like, neat moustaches,
and they always saying these cliched things like, I certainly hope Harry Hun comes in for a cup of tea. I'll take out the cane and give him a good dusting."
a good rummage.
A good rummage.
Around the garden patch.
That reminds me, if you watch Second World War it's not propaganda, but Second World War films from the era, not fiction films, like when you went to the cinemas in the 40s, like there would be a news update, like how the war's doing, like this week in the war, you know. And like,
"This week in the war."
yeah. Like if you watch the British ones, it's like they've lost it, I think. I don't know, anyone British care to comment, but they seem to have lost it. But in the 40s, they like only spoken euphemisms. Like they'll be showing you an exercise that the army's doing, and they would be like, "Yes, our old chaps will be ready to give Hitler and his boys a nice reception when he comes over. Maybe a spot of tea. And yes, I'm sure those new machine guns we have will give him no spot of trouble. Ha ha." What? Yeah, it's weird. You should watch it. In fact, you should splice some of that in.
Yeah. We'll cut that out.
Yeah.
But what was I going to say?
I have something to say on that, changing Hollywood getting the accents wrong, is that whenever something is done in ancient times, you get a period piece. They always speak like high British. Like if you watch Gladiator, it's like very English. Marcus Aurelius says, "Maximus, I shall empower you to one end and one end alone." And it's like, I'm not expecting Latin. I'm not expecting that. I get it. You have to...
What accents are you going to give them?
Like
Hello,
maybe it would be funny if it's accurate to the modern day. So, "Hey, Maximus, I shall empower you."
Luigi. Yeah.
"My name is Decimi Moridio Maximo, father to a..." You know, speaking about stealth gaming, right, in general, it's weird. I don't know if you can identify with this, but, you know, when I was a child, for some reason, whenever I went to the loo, the toilet, I always got in that sort of stealth mindset. I always felt like I was like the room was really in the wall. The room, like, there wasn't a door. Like, I was doing secret surveillance on the people in my house.
You're a weird kid, man.
Yeah, I think that's...
Were you scared people were going to hear you while you're in the bathroom? Is that what it was about? Trying to go for a stealth shit.
Yeah. It wasn't the sound that was the problem, though.
You know, I sometimes do when I'm going for a dump. Is I take like a whole lot of bits of toilet paper and I line the bottom of the bowl so that when I plop, it doesn't. Seriously, so when it plops, it doesn't like shoot up and get all over my ass, like all the water. Yeah.
I know. I sort of like that. It helps wipe.
Anyways.
No, the worst was in China. I worked in China as a teacher, and it's like, obviously they don't have normal bathrooms, they have crouching bathrooms, but you know, they tell you that and you're like, okay, that's a bit weird for me, but you know, I'm in another culture.
So they don't have toilet seats at all.
No.
There's nothing to sit down on.
It's like crouching toilets. What's worse is you need to evaluate what it means to sort of go to the bathroom. I don't want to be crass here, ladies and gentlemen, but
we've been crass for the past few minutes.
You know, when you pee, right? You learn as a kid, I need to aim. You know, because this is like a weapon. You need to.
Yeah, of course. Well, sword fighting, it's a rite of passage.
You need to learn how to. You can hurt someone. You can pee on the floor. You need to learn how to aim. That's one of the first life lessons you ever learn. In China, you need to learn to aim your butt for the toilet. You can miss. And you know how I realized, I used to think it was just me. I used to think, Matt, you're fucking spastic worrying about aiming. But then I realized, like, the toilet is just like this hall, right? With a porcelain outline. And like there are indentations, made indentations in the porcelain where your feet should go. And I realized I realized that this was a common thing, that people must have had positioning problems and were just shitting everywhere. Until someone thought, no, I'll put these foot indentations to indicate where you should stand and crouch down from. And they work. Every time I use those indentations, I got it like spot on.
Wow. It's like paint by numbers. You just gotta know how.
No, you joke, but this is how it works. The hole isn't just a deep hole that drops. It's like a flat pan that sort of goes into a hole. So
it's like a slip and slide.
Yeah, so if you aim wrong, you could land on the pan part, and like when you crouch up, you go like what? You're like confronted with it on the pan.
Yeah.
And if you aim properly, it just goes in the hole. Yeah, let's change this.
But they spent all that time with the foot positioning, but they didn't think to add a seat or like something to rest. They must all have like crazy thigh power.
Well, it's weird. I do now. I mean, a year of that, and I feel like that Bond villain from GoldenEye, where I can strangle someone with my thighs.
I didn't even know there was a Bond villain like that. Was it a female Bond
Yeah,
villain?
it was.
Really?
Like, she didn't... what was her name?
Serena Williams.
I wanted to say Ivana Humpelot, but that's Austin Powers. No, she was in GoldenEye. She used to like shag the guy, and then like she used to like with her thighs latched on. She used to like strangle them.
Yeah.
Which to be honest, I didn't know how that worked, because like she had her thighs around the pelvis.
It seems for Bond villains, they just sort of pick one body part and then just make it kind of strange, like teeth. Guy's got golden teeth. Or whatever it is, metal chompers, or he's got a special hat. Wasn't there a guy with a special hat?
Yeah,
that was also. Oh, is that Oddjob? Okay.
Oddjob, random task.
Yeah, I found the Bond films boring as fuck when I was a kid, to be honest.
I loved them, but I think I loved them because, you know, I love for the reason most people like them. That if you're a spy, you're just irresistible. You know, women want you, men want to be like you, and hey, it's the 21st century. Men want to be with you. That's all.
For me, it was like at the time that I started watching movies and the time that I knew about James Bond, it was already like a big thing. Like, you're supposed to like James Bond. You know, James Bond was already an established character, and I was like, I didn't get it. You know, there was no pull because it was already over. The Bond era was over by the time it was Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
You know, and Pierce Brosnan was. It's nothing to call home about.
I feel the same way about the old Bond movies because my mum was like, "Yeah, Sean Connery was the best Bond. Watch him." And like then I would watch a Sean Connery Bond movie, and Sean Connery would be like hitting the girl, like, "You better speak. don't make me hit you again." And I'm like, this is fucked up.
Old movies are messed up, man.
They really are. But like, and mum's like, oh, this is a common saying for old people. What they're basically saying is, I want to fuck that guy. But they say something like, he can leave his shoes under my bed any day. And mum would say that, and I'd be like, he just walloped her in the mouth. What the fuck?
Yeah, it is pretty strange. Yeah, but it's like that bang zoom straight to the moon.
Bang zoom straight to the moon.
Yeah, that was in the only place I know that from is Futurama, but it's like from an old movie, right?
Yeah, The Honeymooners. It was like an old sitcom.
Yeah, and that's like a classic phrase, and it's about beating your wife.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, like, you know, getting back to James Bond, if they made like a modern version of James Bond, it would just be some guy in a dingy basement monitoring calls. You know?
Well, yeah, that's the problem with James Bond, is that the world has changed around him and he hasn't changed at all. He's still trying to do spy missions the way they did it 50 years ago or whatever. But like, it doesn't happen like that anymore.
If you had to come in the office, I got a lead on some Russian intelligence. You should send me to Moscow to like infiltrate this government cell and hear what they're up to.
The Soviets.
Yeah, the Soviets. And M would be like, "Oh, that's fine. I got the satellite uplink. We can listen to them now." Would be like, "Oh, okay. Well, don't you want me to sleep with the lady boss, and I can pump her for information and." Like
that always works. I'm sure there's some lady I can sleep with for information.
Yeah, and M would be like, "No, we can just clone her hard drive." And then James Bond shoots himself.
Yeah. We just get our hacking department on it, it's alright.
Yeah, it's like that's what spying is.
But all the modern James Bond movies are about modern threats like terrorists and Al-Qaeda and that sort of thing, you know? And that's not interesting to watch in a spy movie. What you want to see is a crazy, weird, freaky supervillain mastermind with like a speech impediment, you know, like what's that new movie? Nightmen.
Yeah,
you've seen that.
The Lip.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
it's perfect because when you watch a spy movie, you want it to be balls out fun. You don't want it to be like. You don't want it to remind you of real life, you know, and the real dangers that you face. And also, terrorists are boring. Real terrorists. You want something funny. You want a Dr. Evil stroking a cat on a swivel chair, kind of thing.
I mean, killing people in a very slow fashion.
Yeah.
I mean, if Dr. Evil was behind 9/11, those towers would still be falling. It's like a millimeter. No, there's no proper way to.
You would have, thrown sharks with laser beams on their heads at them.
Fricking sharks with fricking laser beams. Yeah.
Whatever happened to old Mike Myers?
I don't know. He sort of dropped off the face of the.
I think it was the Love Guru that. It was the final nail in his coffin.
Yeah. Well, that's actually commonly believed, and I believe that too. But apparently, behind the scenes, he's like mega difficult.
Really?
Yeah, like even from Wayne's World days. Apparently, if his specific food isn't in catering, he'll have a strop or something.
He does seem to have like a bit of a a complex about being a comedic genius. Well, like I don't know him personally, but I've listened to the Mark Maron podcast with him. He seems like a decent guy, but maybe a little bit like riding high on his fame.
When I hear things like that, I tend to be a bit more sympathetic to the guy. Like, remember the whole Christian Bale foopla a couple of years ago, where someone walked into his like lighting, or his it was his vision, and he just went off on this guy, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's disgusting," and I felt like I was the only one going, "Yeah, fucking right." I mean, you're there trying to do your work for the day, and listen, we all think about movies as being glamorous, but oftentimes it's not. Like, they have to, if they're doing a character piece, they have to wake up at like 3, spend hours in makeup, and then to do this one 5-minute scene that's booked. Like, you only have one 5-minute scene booked for the whole day, but you have all this preparation, and then you have like some dickhead, distracting you while you're trying to do it.
It was just the way that he went about it. That was like, sure, tell the guy off, tell him what he's doing wrong, but like, don't be a dick about it. What it sounded like to me was he was still in character. Like, he was just using that outburst to like get into character a little bit more.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he was really, really giving it horns there. Poor guy.
I'm just saying I get it. Like, I get that whole perfectionist.
Yeah, no, if I was like a celebrity of any note and like paparazzi were following me around and stuff, it wouldn't be long before like I broke someone's camera or something.
Like I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I'd just be too real, and I think that's the problem. I think we all have these quote-unquote original ideas that, well, if I were famous, I would just like be like an everyman. And I think every celebrity tries to do that at first, and then they slowly realize that they can't because no one sees them like that.
I'm sure they all have that like period where they freak out with paparazzi and stuff, but then once they tell off one paparazzi and they break his camera, then just hundreds more show up, and then you just have to keep doing it, or just shut up and put up with it, I suppose.
And I mean, it's a balancing act, because you think, okay, I'm like mega famous now. I'm not going to be one of these people that just like is holier than thou. So I'm going to go with my fans and greet them and be like, oh, hey, how are you? But in those situations, it's never the normal people. It's always the freaks are going to come out and try and cut a lock of your hair.
What the whole thing that's weird to me about paparazzi is that they almost cause the furore around celebrities. When there's a celebrity walking down the street, there's a whole lot of paparazzi following him around.
Yeah.
You don't see crowds of fans following him around without cameras. Oh. It's like they're the ones creating the mania around the celebrities by, like, I don't know if you saw that girl who's like a meme now, the Cash Me Outside. Cash Me Outside girl.
Cash Me Outside, how about that?
Yeah, how about that? And she's like a celebrity now, and paparazzi like follow her around for that. She's like a famous person now for some reason.
Say it.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do. They follow her around trying to get her to talk, but she loves it. Like I've seen she seems to love it from the clip that I saw. She's loving the spotlight of people following around.
It makes me think, are memes gonna have like sequels? Yeah, and what I mean by that is, you've got the Hollywood industry where they're like, maybe the press are gonna be like, when are you gonna make a new Batman? We loved the last one, and like, okay, they make a sequel. But nowadays, young people, and when I say young people, I only have my sister as a benchmark. Watching my sister, they tend to spend most of their time on the phone looking at 9gag and iFunny, and like you said, let's go watch a movie, and they're like, no, I'm watching 9gag. So it's like mostly memes. So is that going to be like a new industry where
it really is completely
from the people that brought you Cash Me Outside? How about that?
No, well, that's the thing about memes, is that they're not owned by anybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's a memer. Everyone's a producer of memes.
Yeah.
Just by passing them along. And
But what I mean by that is the Cash Me Outside, how about that girl gonna like one day just kill herself because she's famous and she can't come up with anything.
No, because
and it just becomes meaningless. They keep going, say it, and she's like, Cash Me Outside, how about that? And they're like, it's not the same. It's not the same, Johnny. You're a fraud.
Find me inside. What do you think about that? Just mix it up a little bit. But I was reading. Well, what's weird to me is the world has changed so much over my lifetime. Like, a meme didn't exist 5 years ago. When I was at school, nobody knew what a meme was, and all of a sudden, it's like every kid knows what a meme is, and it's like it's not like a basic. Well, we think of memes as just pictures and funny things, but it's actually quite like a sophisticated academic topic created by Richard Dawkins.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody uses it on a regular basis. It's quite amazing, like how a scientist can just come up with an idea, and all of a sudden the whole world just accepts that idea, and it becomes common used word. It's amazing.
Having said that, what's your favorite meme?
No, well, I don't really have one, but what I want to talk about is the Pepe meme.
Pepe the Frog.
Yeah, Rare Pepes.
Apparently, it's regarded as hate speech.
Yeah, well, that's
weird.
That's the thing. Like, I long for a simpler time when cartoon internet frogs stayed out of politics.
Make cartoon internet frogs great again.
Yeah. No, but it's absolutely ridiculous because he was hijacked. He wasn't always a racist meme.
Yeah.
He was just a meme. Like, he started out as a webcomic character who he would like pee with his pants down. This is like the famous comic that he's from. He would pee with his pants down, and then someone asked him why he pees with his pants all the way down. And he's just like, yeah, it feels good, man. And that's where like the Pepe meme came from. Just this frog saying, it feels good, man.
Yeah.
And it was posted on like 4chan, and
it all starts on 4chan.
Yeah, and apparently, I didn't know this, but apparently 4chan is like a hotbed for right-wing, extreme right-wingers.
Yeah, it is.
So just that's the reason why it's become now like a right-wing thing.
It's so fucking weird because 4chan is like, you know, the dark web?
Yeah.
Yeah. 4chan is like a dark web internet site on the regular web. It's very weird. You can find fucked up things on 4chan.
Yeah, I've never really had a look. I've just been to the website. I had a look at it's called R or B/ or something like that, and it's like that's where the anonymous group came about from the first place. We're talking about this shit. Someone's probably covered it in numerous videos. People who listen to this on the internet probably know way more about it than we do.
Jeez, don't oversell us.
No, but seriously, they probably do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm way behind in internet culture. You know, I'm over the hill.
No, I like to keep up to date with it. Mainly because I find that stuff interesting.
I find it interesting, but I'm definitely an outsider. Like, it confuses the shit out of me. I feel like an old man. Like, what are these crazy kids up to these days?
Hey, wait, I'm right there with you. Like, I don't identify with a lot of it. Like a lot of the memes. Like, there was one last year. It was like dicks out for Harambe. You know, and like I felt bad for Harambe.
Shame, yeah, poor Harambe.
But at the same time, that whole thing with Harambe, I'm sorry, we going through topics we went from stealth games to
we're on memes, so
yeah.
Yeah.
The thing with Harambe is, okay, I get it. I do get it. I understand why people are outraged, but I also understand why he was shot. I'm sorry, I do.
But that story and all that incident that happened has nothing to do with the Harambe meme.
Yeah,
the Harambe meme is just because he's a gorilla and he's got a funny name. That's basically why the meme exists.
Yeah.
Sure, there's the massive news incident to kickstart the meme, but the reason that it's famous is just because it's a funny monkey with a funny name.
But the thing is, people will just, that's the thing, people will argue with you on that point. People, but, to make themselves feel like somehow better. Like, no, that's not it, man. It was an injustice, and we're championing it by saying dicks out for Harambe, and somehow.
Well, didn't Harambe hurt a child or something? I don't know the full story. A child fell into the gorilla enclosure.
Yeah, a child fell into the gorilla enclosure, and no, Harambe never hurt it, but it was very close to the child, and it got shot because it was interpreted as, oh shit, this gorilla
could do something, like a
could do something. And to be honest, I'm like, I understand that. I'm not outraged that they shot Harambe. I'm outraged that incident happened in the first place. But I'm not gonna... if I see a 2-year-old child with a fucking silverback gorilla, what's going through my mind is not, oh wait, let's see if it's gonna protect us,
Yeah.
I'm not waiting for that.
Of course, so you're not like, let's hope that it's going to
behave
well.
And that was the main argument. You got quote unquote animologists.
Yeah, and seriously, if you're stressing out about the death of a gorilla, you've got your priorities all mixed up. Because there's a lot worse things happening on a daily basis around the planet.
And people were saying like, no, well, the mother was negligent by letting the baby get in that situation. I had an argument with my friend Sarah about this. She was like, no, well, the mother was negligent by the way she let her child get in that situation in the first place. And I'm like, so what? You're gonna let the child pay for that? Is this what you're arguing to me?
No, shit happens, and it's terrible that the gorilla was shot.
Yeah.
But accidents happen, what are you going to do?
And I mean, are you not going to shoot a silverback gorilla, are you not going to shoot a silverback gorilla if it's next to a 2-year-old or 3-year? I don't know how old the baby was.
Well, you could be objective about it and be like, well, it's a human child. Is a human child's life worth more than a gorilla's? Most people would say yes.
Yeah. Some
people would be all objective about it and say, but as human emotional creatures, obviously we're going to protect our young and us, and we humans have got a really small tolerance for differences in other people, and that's the reason why the world is in such a weird place at the moment.
Well, I mean, do you know what we did? We ate the Neanderthals.
Yeah, well, out of all the species of human, we're the only one that's left, and that's because we killed all the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those other species of humans were very different from us. And these days, there's racism within our species. We're all the same species, but we just look slightly different and we hate each other.
Yeah.
Can you imagine with another, a completely different subspecies, how much we would have hated those guys?
Those people have tails! Kill them!
Yeah. Well, not that we all hate people of other races, but we have that tendency,
I'd say as a group, as a collective, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, we mistrust strangers. But yeah, it's a scary world, man. Scary world we live in, 2017.
It is a scary world. I mean, we live in South Africa. We should know. That's just very
you
scary.
Americans don't know what the fuck you guys are
You
about.
don't know
you
shit.
Sissies.
You're gonna get a whole lot of comments. Fuck you, America! No, America's great.
No, what do they say? It's tough in Africa. What do they say? It's half in Africa or something.
It's tough enough.
No, what do the people say? They say
Africa's not for sissies.
Yeah, Africa's not for sissies, man. It's not for sissies.
People will be like, "What's a sissy?"
Well, yeah, if you're a sissy, come on by. We don't discriminate, but you. Let's be all politically correct about this.
Yeah, Africa's not for effeminate people. Oh, that's worse.
It's not for weaklings.
It's not for weak people.
Well, like, not people with disabilities, they're fine. Just people, like normal people who are like slightly subpar, like the ones that you're allowed to make fun of. Yeah. Africa's not for those people.
Like Native Americans. You're allowed to make fun of Native Americans. No, I'm serious. It's like, in America, it's like, if there's one, it's weird. Black people and white people like diss on the Native Americans. I'm not saying this is a widespread problem. I'm just going by movies. I've never been to America. Tom has, so maybe he can comment on it. But just by watching movies, it's like the white people can't make fun of the black people anymore, and vice versa. The black people can't make fun of the white people, but there's still like fucking there's still the stereotype of the Native American that cries when you litter, and you know, that's still like considered okay. You know?
Like when white men come.
Yeah.
Like, very stereotyped. But like I was saying earlier, Americans are very, very scared. Like, they live in one of the safest countries on the planet, apart from maybe their gun laws. Like, that was when I was over there, I did have the slight worry that I might get shot at any time. I actually said that to because I went couch surfing in America, and the one couple that I stayed with were very alarmed that I'd even suggest such a thing. But you've got to take that into account. Anyone in America could be carrying a firearm. So, like, you can't just, like, act however you can't just piss people off willy-nilly, you know? Because anyone might snap and start shooting.
And if you're white, you kind of are allowed to use it.
Use your gun.
Yeah. Because, if you're white and you shoot someone and you say it's self-defense, it seems like, ladies and gentlemen, again, I don't know, I've never been there, but judging from watching like the media, and you can say, oh, the media, but judging by watching everything I've seen about America, if you're white and you shoot someone and you say it's self-defense, it seems like people are like, okay, cool.
Mm.
Anyway,
yeah. Americans are pretty cool. I wasn't really that scared. All the Americans that I met were nice people, but then again, I only met liberals and Democrats. Didn't meet any Republicans. I was in Michigan, and I don't want to say anything bad. I love Americans. Americans are great. We love you. You guys are cuties. Just keep up the good work. You guys are doing a good job.
Yeah, I mean, we joke about Americans, but
shitty president, really bad choice of president.
Yeah, gee, you guys knocked it out of the park there. I mean,
yeah.
No, you guys don't understand, as a South African, as someone who's not American, how pissed off this makes us, because you guys are like still the most powerful nation on earth. Look, it's a fact. You guys are, and yes, you know, be proud of that. Not saying you should, you have any exorbitant responsibilities to us. But at the same time, don't elect an idiot who has the authority to launch the nukes, you know? Because we are the ones who are going to pay for it. Not you guys, us. Like, us in the third world, you know?
Yeah. Well, the nuke situation, that's pretty bad, but that's not what I worry about so much as the fact that Americans think he's making America and the world safer. But in actual fact, what he's doing is he's just aggravating matters. And ISIS and terrorist organizations, they're using Trump as a recruitment tool. They're using the ban on airports, which was actually suspended yesterday, I think. It was suspended, which is good news. Yay, suspension! But so immigrants are allowed into America. All immigrants go to America as soon as you can, before they start the ban again. But basically, this ban has been a boon for terrorist organizations because they want to join up so that they can fight against this oppression from Trump.
Yeah, but when I say nukes, I'm really using it as a metaphor for nukes, as in someone who has the power to radically change the world, which he does with economic policies and foreign policies that affect us. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, it affects us. It doesn't affect you.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and it affects
and children.
I'm not saying Trump's presidency won't affect you. Of course it will. He's president of your country. But things like economic policies towards Africa and, you know, fighting with China over Africa, which he seems to be doing, it really affects people in Africa. Just like, so I'm saying, you know...
Yeah, it actually makes white people look bad.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And
it's hard enough being a white guy in South Africa.
Yeah, we don't need any more bad press. Like, let's be real here. I mean, I went all pensive.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I was thinking? Like,
what?
Am I getting into like a weird cul-de-sac here where I say something like?
Yeah, I just shrug it off. I just maintain that I'm an idiot, so anything that I say at any time, I'm not held responsible for, and I can go back on any one of my opinions at any time.
No, I mean, we rag on Trump. We really rag on Trump, but at the same time, if you support Trump, I don't want to alienate you. Like, please, I mean, say why you think he's good and why he's really the best thing for America. And I don't know if Tom will, yeah, but I will legitimately listen to you and think, okay, you're still wrong though.
Yeah.
But I'll read it.
Just listen and then just judge them.
That's the difference.
Yeah. My first encounter with Trump was on The Apprentice, as was probably most people's. But that was a terrible show. I didn't like that show growing up. I found it extremely boring, especially when compared to like Survivor or something like that. Like, I would have much rather had the host of Survivor as the president. He was a cool guy. You remember that guy?
The what?
The host of Survivor.
Oh yeah, that guy. The only thing I remember of that guy is he eventually dated that hot contestant.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you lucky.
That one hot contestant.
Oh, they had lots of hot contestants.
I remember there was one lady who was like a Cub Scout master in the show, and she was so bad at Survivor, because Survivor's about being cutthroat.
Yeah.
And like forming alliances and then dumping those alliances as soon as they don't serve you anymore, and stabbing people in the back and that sort of thing. Yeah. And she just had so much empathy. She was like a mother, and she was like a scout leader, and she was just buying all the bullshit. From Johnny Fairplay. Do you remember Johnny Fairplay?
Fuck
and
them.
these are some old references, man.
Johnny Fairplay.
Only people who are like alive early 2000s will know.
Johnny Fairplay, was he? No, he wasn't Boston Rob. They're not the. No, he was the wrestler. The guy who won. He actually got into wrestling.
Really?
And, yeah, that's why he said his name was Johnny Fairplay. Yeah. That was his wrestling name. I remember him now. He like had blonde hair.
Yeah.
Know who I hated?
Who?
Boston Rob.
I don't even remember who that is.
It was this guy from Boston, and he like
Boston.
I've never been to Boston.
Hey, I'm walking here.
I think that's New York.
New York is like 2 meters from Boston. It's like the same city. No, I kid. It's like I think Boston is like northern New York or something.
I think I can hear like the tapping of angry keys on a keyboard.
No, well,
New York is not Boston.
I think if someone from Boston, New York is listening to this, New York. I think if one of those people is listening, we've made it. So
now I've legitimately got a question for you. If you are from New York, what the fuck is the difference between New York and New Ark?
New York is some sort of new Bible story sequel.
The new arc. No, but I've watched TV shows where they've referred to New Arc. Oh yeah, it's at Newark International, and I always thought that was just a regional dialect. Like, oh yeah, it's over at Newark, and I was like, that's weird because the whole city is New York. Then I'm like,
Newark.
and apparently it's like a separate.
Yeah.
Is it like a suburb of New York?
No,
Please,
dude, if you look at New York, have you ever looked at New York from like Google Earth or something like that?
Yeah.
Jeez, dude, it's just like, okay, I'm a country boy. We're currently in Durban, South Africa, right now, and that to me is like a crazy big city. I can't even comprehend the size of this city, and New York is like 100 times Durban, kind of thing, and it just blows my little country mind.
For a point of reference, Durban is like the Florida of South Africa. It's about the same size.
Yeah.
8 million, roughly, people.
Less alligators.
Yeah, no swamps.
It's like a little India. No, it has the second largest Indian population in the world outside of India.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, you learn something on this podcast.
Yeah, it's like
an educational podcast.
You know, for those of you who are like listening to us and like thinking they sound white, but they say they're from South Africa. How's that possible?
I don't know if people could listen to us and just know that we're white unless they were South African. I mean, we could be freaking Chinese, Asian.
Don't say freaking Chinese.
Sorry,
it's like racist. No, no.
we could be something crazy like Chinese.
No.
Sorry, I'm sorry for my.
No, he's using the word freaking as an explanation, like we could be anything.
Let's not dwell on it.
Yeah, no. I was dwelling on it for comic effect. So,
right.
Yeah. No, but my point is, there's not just white people in Africa. There are also Indians. A lot of Indians. Actually, but not like, you know, it's weird, you know, because Tom and I, we're on the comedy circuit here in Durban, and a lot of our colleagues are like South African Indian. We would just say Indian, but I suppose for our international listeners, we should say South African Indian.
And if you want to know what a South African Indian is, look up Trevor Noah's comedy bit on Indians. I'm sure if you just type in Trevor Noah Indians, you'll find it straight away.
Yeah, and South African Indians, they even do jokes about this. Completely different from like the people you would get in India. It's like, like they don't have that stereotype sort of
no, come again. That was so bad.
That accent, you know, that what's that Simpsons character? Apu, that Apu sort of, let's call them, they don't have Apuisms. It's more like South Africanisms, which I think is pretty cool actually, because it's like, I love the Indian culture here. Indian cuisine is my favorite food, and I love the fact that we as South Africans, we sort of like, yeah, they're us. They're like ideal to us.
Yeah, they're super racist towards white people though. So
are they?
I don't know. I just want to counteract your little pandering there with a bit of a rock hard reality. No, our dates in my girlfriend is Indian,
like curry,
and her parents pretty much hate me. Yeah, I'm not racist. I enjoy a good curry.
I love curry as much as the next man. I'm not, you know, I like curry to an Indian is sort of like saying to a black person, I have lots of black friends. You know, it's like the same thing. Don't say that. Like, no, whoa, I love curry. It's like, no.
Yeah. But a lot of our audiences will be 90% Indian when we're performing in Durban sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes perform to an all-black audience, you know. I don't know why we're talking about this, but I suppose it's just because race is quite a big deal in South Africa, especially when you're a minority group.
Yeah.
Like I think minorities tend to talk about race more than the rest of them. Like in America, to white people, race doesn't seem like an issue because they're constantly around white people and they don't have to deal with race discrimination.
I don't know.
But
in America.
No, as white people.
Oh yeah, as white people
in
America, yeah.
But minorities, they talk a lot more about race, and I suppose us as white South Africans, as minorities, we also are very race conscious.
You know,
but everybody is in South Africa.
Everyone. It doesn't matter if you're a minority.
We're probably actually the least racist country on the planet.
I think that's accurate.
Yeah.
I mean, and don't get us wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Race is like a hot button problem in South Africa. Racism. Not race. That made me sound weird. Like, yeah, race is a problem. There should be one. No, racism is a problem in South Africa. But I still am of the belief that as a nation of people, we are definitely more nuanced than other people. You know, and that's partly because of our past, you know, the bad old days of apartheid. And it's also because... now it's taught in schools and everyone has an opinion.
It's drilled into our heads from preschool.
Yeah.
The idea of, Nelson Mandela was one of the first public figures I learned about as a child.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, and it's very important to our culture. And I was going to say something else,
but my point is, like, ladies and gentlemen, if you're feeling awkward that we're talking about race and that, just know that it's because of our cultural background, that everyone talks about it in South Africa, and 90% of what we're saying is joking. So if you're like, wait, why is he talking about Indians and curry, and that sounds really bad, just sort of listen to the context of what I'm saying. It's you know, we're just
and performing comedy. What I've noticed is that white people are way more sensitive towards racial jokes than other races. If you tell a joke about black people in a crowd of black people, they'll find it. If it's a funny joke, they'll laugh, you know. But if you tell a joke about black people to a crowd of white people, everybody cringes up and starts looking very guilty.
You hear the sound. Ooh.
Yeah, all the air is just sucked out of the room, and it's very scary. But what I wanted to add to what you're saying there is that in South Africa, we only 20 years ago we ended the racial segregation.
Yeah.
Whereas in other countries, racism is on the rise, like in Europe and England.
17 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, or whatever, 20. Well, yeah. And in Europe and England and America, racism and Islamophobia, they're all on the rise. And we're we're in the hangover of that stage, you know. They haven't had it for so long, they've forgotten about all that shit. It's still fresh in our minds, so we're way more sensitive to that sort of thing, which is, it just, to us, the whole thing that's happening in America just seems absolutely crazy. Like, it's so obviously not the right thing to be doing, but...
it would be alien to us, because as I said, here in Durban, we have the second largest Indian population outside of Mumbai.
Yeah.
And that's like a fact,
outside of India, yeah.
Outside of India, basically. So any sort of policy like that against any racial group would be like totally... I mean, I get the feeling even racist people in this country would be against it, because, like...
Nah, they're just idiots.
No, they would, because think about it. It's like such a big part of our population, different cultures, that if, like, the whole economy would just ground to a halt, really, because you got a whole section of the workforce and a whole section of people that have office jobs or even menial jobs not pitching up to work. It's like...
Yeah, not to mention the outrage.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I think we should start wrapping it up. We got into quite serious topics there, but we're on to almost an hour now.
We went from shadow tactics to race.
Shadow tactics was just a appetizer.
But yeah, we will wrap it up. But this is more, you know, you don't know us, we don't know you.
We're first podcast.
We're just having a tete-on-tete, you know.
Yeah.
Just
So-
feeling each other out.
Please, guys, if you like the podcast, comment, like, share, subscribe, do all those good things. And we'll see you next time. Anything you want to add there, Matt?
Yeah, sorry about the toilet stuff. I can't help it.
Yeah.
My mind goes there.
We're going to go punish ourselves. So,
Yeah.
thank you for listening. Click, click, bang, bang.